Kelly had mentioned how deeply viewers depended on her presence. She had talked about people watching her during their toughest days, recovering from illness, sitting in treatment centers, waiting for medical results, or facing their own personal storms. Knowing her show brought comfort to those who needed a distraction made leaving feel impossible. And yet, she wondered, was it time? Could she step away? Would the world let her? Would she allow herself to? Oprah Winfrey, with her wise, grounded voice, had given Kelly heartfelt advice. Stay. You're not done yet. Your presence still matters. Kelly heard it, she appreciated it, she understood it, but it didn't erase the quiet question echoing inside her heart. For the first time in years, Kelly was imagining her future and seeing two different paths, one where she kept going and one where she walked into a new chapter with Mark by her side, far away from studio lights and early call times. During her unexpected break, the show carried on with rotating co-hosts. Each day brought a new personality, a new dynamic, and a new burst of energy. Some viewers loved it, others felt unsettled, but together they waited, hoping for one thing: Kelly's return. Meanwhile, Mark did his best to steady the ship. He smiled, he laughed, he shared stories, but occasionally, just occasionally, his expression softened in a way only someone missing their partner can show. There's a unique kind of love that grows from working side by side with the person you share a life with. Mark and Kelly weren't just co-hosts. They were teammates, best friends, confidants, and partners in a rhythm they had built over decades. Working without her was doable, but not complete. Fans felt it, and Mark felt it too. And though she stayed quiet, Kelly wasn't gone. She was watching. She was resting. She was letting herself breathe in a way she hadn't allowed for a long, long time. She knew the world was buzzing with questions. She knew fans worried. She knew rumors were swirling like summer storms. But she also knew something else. Sometimes stepping away doesn't mean goodbye. Sometimes stepping away means gathering strength to return stronger. Sometimes stepping away is the most loving thing you can do for the people who count on you. Kelly's journey wasn't about retiring. It wasn't about disappearing. It wasn't about some dramatic secret. It was about balance. It was about healing. It was about reclaiming space for herself. And it was about honoring the life she had built, both on and off the screen. Her story is far from over. Her seat isn't empty forever. And her impact isn't fading. It's simply taking a breath. Because even icons need rest. Even heroes recharge. Even the brightest stars step behind the clouds for a moment before shining again. And when Kelly returns, whenever she chooses, viewers will welcome her back with the same love she has given them for so many years. Until then, the story continues. The laughter continues. The romance between Kelly and Mark continues. And the world keeps watching, waiting, and cheering for the woman who has made mornings feel a little warmer.
No one expected the start of August to feel so unusual for daytime TV fans. For years, Kelly Ripa's bright energy had been as dependable as morning sunlight. Viewers poured their coffee, settled into their couches, and counted on her charming banter and quick humor to set the tone for their day. But this time, something felt off. Something different. The first hint came quietly, almost casually, when Kelly skipped the show one morning. Fans shrugged it off at first. After all, everyone deserves a day off. But when she missed the next day too, and then the following episodes for the rest of the week, curiosity turned into concern. Online discussions popped up everywhere. People asked the same question again and again. Where is Kelly? Mark Consuelos, forever the calm voice in a whirlwind, carried on with his trademark warmth. But viewers could sense a shift. He was his usual charming self, but the energy felt different without Kelly tossing playful jabs, rolling her eyes, laughing at his stories, or correcting his pronunciation like only a devoted partner does. It wasn't the same. It couldn't be. This wasn't just any host missing work. This was someone who had spent more than 20 decades showing up with a smile, even on days when the world outside felt heavy. Her absence didn't simply leave an empty chair. It left a silence shaped exactly like her. When Mark welcomed Jenna Dewan as a guest co-host, fans were delighted. Jenna, with her natural sweetness and vibrant personality, brought a beautiful spark to the show. She and Mark formed a rhythm almost instantly, laughing, joking, sharing stories. But even in those cheerful moments, there was an unmistakable echo in the room. Kelly wasn't there. And that's when the speculation grew louder. Was Kelly resting? Was she emotionally exhausted? Was she finally considering something she had quietly hinted at the month before? Retirement. That conversation had happened in the most unexpected way. Kelly had been speaking openly, reflecting on her long career, and for the first time allowing the word retirement to float out into the open air, not as a declaration, but as a possibility, a whisper of a future she wasn't sure she was ready for. It wasn't dramatic, but it landed like a soft crack in a foundation. Fans didn't want to imagine mornings without Kelly's stories, her jokes, her charming exasperation whenever Mark said something mildly ridiculous, and the idea that she might consider stepping back stirred every emotion, from shock to nostalgia to reluctant acceptance. So when she suddenly disappeared the very next month, people connected the dots faster than a headline could appear. Meanwhile, Mark had also taken time off the week before, but his absence felt routine. He was on assignment, traveling, working on another project. Fans missed him, sure, but they didn't worry. When he returned, full of energy and ready to go, it felt normal. Kelly's absence, however, felt heavy. It wasn't announced, it wasn't explained, it simply happened. Mark didn't offer details, and that only fueled the mystery. He simply mentioned she needed some time away, choosing his words with the kind of gentle respect that only comes when you're protecting someone you love deeply. Jenna Dewan's appearance was followed by another stand-in, Jackie Ton, full of humor and spark, lighting up the stage with the same lively chaos she brings to every project. She clicked instantly with Mark, teasing him, laughing with him, bringing a refreshing flair to the show. But again, that empty seat told its own story. More guest co-hosts arrived. More laughter, more moments, more temporary replacements. Each talented, each entertaining, but none filling the shape of Kelly. Fans began to feel like they were watching someone rearrange the furniture in a house they'd lived in their whole lives. It still worked, but it felt different. And yet, behind the scenes, the truth was far simpler and more human than the rumors swirling online. Kelly needed a break. A real break. Not a one-day breather, not a long weekend, something deeper, something earned, something she had put off for years. Because the past year had been emotionally overwhelming for her. The show had moved into a new building, a huge milestone, but also a massive shift. The old studio had been Kelly's home long before the rest of the world watched her sit behind the desk. It was the place where she had grown, changed, loved, raised children, nurtured friendships, laughed with coworkers, cried between commercial breaks, and lived more life than most people realize. Leaving it felt like closing a chapter of her own story, one she wasn't prepared to rewrite yet. Add to that the whirlwind of new projects she and Mark had taken on, including a documentary series about their Italian soccer team. Between filming, traveling, interviews, and responsibilities, their schedules had become a juggling act with flaming torches. So when Mark took his deserved time off, Kelly held down the fort with her usual grace. She showed up, delivered her charm, brought joy to countless households, and did it all while running on a half-empty tank. And when he returned, she exhaled. She realized her body and mind had been whispering for rest before she allowed herself to hear it. And for once, she listened. It wasn't dramatic. It wasn't life-changing. It was simply human. She needed a pause. And she took it. But the whisper of retirement lingered in the corner of every conversation fans had.